Have a fun video you'd like to see featured on NCW Life? Email us at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
It's time for NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. The latest from the Wenatchee Valley and North Central Washington with Steve Hare, Grant Olson, and sports with Eric Granstrom.
Good Tuesday evening and welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And after a foggy start to our day, we did see a peek or two at the sun around the area today, but mostly low clouds. We're seeing that now as we take a look from our Skycam camera. It's located up in the Wenatchee Heights area, and lots of low clouds out there ahead of a storm system that's moving our way tonight, and then an even bigger storm headed our way on Thursday, and we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on. There you go, Wednesday and Wednesday night for tomorrow. We will see kind of a quiet day around the area with even some sunshine in the Columbia Basin and in the Wenatchee Valley, although we will see some snow showers in the mountains. And as I mentioned, by Thursday, watch out, we could see up to 2 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee area, and heavy snow will impact the East Cascades, also northern valleys, and especially the mountain passes where a foot of snow could fall in that storm system on Thursday. And as I mentioned, we'll talk more about that a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A one-vehicle accident this morning near East Wenatchee blocked traffic for nearly 2 hours, and a second suspect in the shooting of a Pierce County deputy has been captured. But first, we begin tonight.
Motion carries.
So we couldn't hear it.
Motion carries.
It was unanimous. Ayes have it. Motion carried.
To change the lead.
It's official. Robert E. Lee Elementary School in East Wenatchee will now be known as Lee Elementary. Before a large crowd at their regularly scheduled meeting Monday night at Grant Elementary, 4 of the 5 Eastmont School Board members in attendance voted unanimously to rename the school to Lee Elementary. Some district residents requested dropping the name due to its links to the Confederacy and perceived racist connotations. As a compromise to those that didn't want the name changed and to those that did, the change to simply Lee Elementary came at the suggestion of School Superintendent Garn Christensen.
The moment you take a position in public service at any level, it's one of constant compromise. Your own beliefs, your own opinions, and you work towards the hope that the people that are sitting here in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, or 50 years from now, our grandchildren, will look back and say, thank you. There was a group of committed citizens in this community that make decisions for the benefit of all. My decision isn't what I would absolutely love. No, I rarely get to do that as a superintendent. Is it a compromise? It is. And my recommendation to change it from Robert E. Lee to Lee Elementary is just that. I think it's a good recommendation that will hopefully move us forward. From what was mentioned earlier in the process of doing my own research, I pulled open the Washington State School Directory and I looked up our district. And yes, there is Robert E. Lee, both in the printed version and the electronic version. If you look for Grant Elementary, somehow or another, it just got recorded as Grant Elementary. In other places, you listen as Grant is actually wrong to the school. So we are imperfect as citizens, and we are imperfect as people and as a democracy. But I still believe it's the foundation of our country. So please consider that.
Also at last night's meeting, the school board rescinded its request to put the name change on the general ballot in November because it does not have the authority to seek an advisory ballot measure. A one-vehicle accident this morning near East Wenatchee blocked traffic for nearly 2 hours right before the morning rush hour. The accident happened at around 5:20, 2 miles east of East Wenatchee on Highway 28, when a 1992 Buick driven by 38-year-old Daniel C. Wright of East Wenatchee crossed the center line, overcorrected, and struck a Jersey barrier on the opposite side of the highway. Wright was injured in the crash and was transported to Central Washington Hospital. No drugs or alcohol was involved in the accident, but Wright was charged with driving over the center line of the highway. According to KXLY TV out of Spokane, the Pierce County Sheriff's Office has identified and captured Frank Powell, the second suspect involved in the fatal shooting of Deputy Daniel McCartney in Pierce County. Here's a recap of how events unfolded. Sunday night at around 11:30, Deputy McCartney responded to a home invasion call, which then turned into a pursuit of two suspects, followed by gunfire, fatally wounding Deputy McCartney. Henry Carden, one of the two suspects, was found dead near McCartney, leaving Powell still at large. During the manhunt, a Washington State Patrol trooper spotted Powell looking suspicious. When confronted by the trooper, Powell gave a fake name but was eventually identified and arrested due to several other outstanding warrants, then later was matched to the description of the second suspect in Deputy McCartney's shooting. Pierce County Detective Ed Troyer said it's been, quote, a long night, but it's a bit of a sigh of relief. Well, the Wenatchee School Board, the three newly elected Wenatchee School Board members, will get a first-hand look at the proposed $120 million bond to renovate Wenatchee High School. At tonight's regularly scheduled meeting, Superintendent Brian Flonis will give a presentation on what the money will be used for and show renderings of how the school will look after the remodel. The renovation would increase available space by almost 60,000 square feet and would include a new kitchen and commons area and a remodel on every classroom in the facility. If the bond were passed, Wenatchee taxpayers who own a $250,000 home would see their property tax increase $292.50 per year, or about $24.38 per month. If the school board okays the bond measure, it will be put before voters this April. Coming up next, Governor Jay Inslee gives his State of the State address, and the Give NCW campaign reaches another year of record donations. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching NCW Life News.
Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house, featuring great family dining in downtown Chelan. We've got burgers, pub fare, and the best barbecue around. Try one of our award-winning sauces made fresh here in-house. So grab the whole gang and come on down. Stormy Mountain Brewing. Beer, barbecue, friends, and beer.
Antique Mall at Cashmere wishes you a happy and prosperous new year. With 15,000 square feet to explore, Antique Mall at Cashmere has something for everyone. For repurposing projects, do-it-yourselfers, and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, this is the place to find your next project. Antique Mall at Cashmere, their friendly staff is here to help you. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. Earlier today in Olympia, in front of a joint session of the Washington State Legislature, Governor Jay Inslee delivered his annual State of the State address with a little help from the Wenatchee High School Vocal Jazz Ensemble.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Jasmeet, for those timely and empowering words. Thanks to the Wenatchee High School Vocal Jazz Ensemble for that inspiring rendition of our national anthem. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor, for honoring Deputy McCartney. All of our hearts are with his family, and I appreciate you honor him. Every single one of us here today is deeply tied to Washington in our own unique way. We each have a part of this state that we love. Favorite fishing spot, quiet place on the farm, that campground you've been going to for generations in the forest. But the things we treasure individually can only be saved collectively. We have been given an incredible bounty of natural beauty and sustenance. And we must now ask ourselves how we can protect that bounty for future generations. We know we are smart enough to recognize the perils of climate change. And we know we are innovative enough to do something about it. Repeatedly over the decades, we have lived up to Governor Ferry's charge to mark the way. We have succeeded in aerospace, in software, in online commerce, in coffee and biotechnology. And there is every reason to believe we will succeed in fighting climate change and growing our economy in the process. This is the year to believe in ourselves. This is the year to act with confidence. This is the year for us to do our part for all who will walk in the path that we will make together. We are here in Olympia to serve the current and future interests of all Washingtonians. And I want to thank each one of you for your willingness to find solutions to the challenges we face. I like to think of this legislature and our state as one big family. We may have differences around the dinner table, but on what really counts, we agree. We all agree that our families deserve to be safe from tragedies like mass shootings. We all agree we must do more for homeless individuals and families. We all agree that our children deserve the best education possible. We all agree that our communities deserve protection from the physical and financial threats of climate change. Today, I call on all of us to look deep in our hearts and to think of our families, for them and for all Washingtonians, present and future. Let's get to work together. Thank you.
The Give North Central Washington campaign reached another record year of donations from the community as final dollars are tallied. The public donated more than $235,000 through the crowdfunding campaign.
I'm Beth Stipe. I'm the Executive Director of the Community Foundation of North Central Washington, and I'm here to tell you, the public, about the Give NCW campaign that wrapped up at the first of the year and how great you all did in supporting the nonprofits in our region. So this year, which is our third year of the Give NCW campaign, which is where we put 25 vetted nonprofit organizations out to the public so that you can help them meet their goals and to do great things in North Central Washington. And this year you raised more money than ever. $235,000 came in to support these 25 wonderful projects and programs throughout the region. 10 nonprofit organizations met their goal out of 25. All in all this year, the total amount that was given to the nonprofit organizations in North Central Washington out of the Give NCW campaign totaled $441,630, and that was all because of you, so thank you.
So what's coming up next for the foundation? Stipe outlines a few upcoming projects and scholarship opportunities.
While the Give NCW and the Give Metro campaigns only happen once a year, there are still a lot of great opportunities to get involved in your community. Go find an organization that you're passionate about and volunteer with them and help them to make great things happen in your world. Also, here at the Community Foundation, we have lots of great things coming up for 2018. We have scholarships that we're giving away. Applications are open right now, and the deadline is March 1st. So get your applications in. We give away over $500,000 in student scholarships every year. Also, we have some really great programming. Our Nonprofit Practices Institute is going to have several trainings around strategic planning and other wonderful nonprofit-based projects, and that we'd love to invite you to come and attend. One of the great opportunities that we have coming up is our Stronger Schools program, which is open to any school district, school, or program that supports a school in North Central Washington. If you're involved in a parent-teacher association, or you're a teacher or a school administrator, check us out on our website. Those applications are going to open on January 15th, and they'll close on March 15th. And you can have up to $5,000 for your school or school-based project. And those are really fun grants that we love to give to help support learning in our communities. Check us out on our website, cfncw.org, where you'll find all of those great projects and opportunities that are coming up for our community. And thank you.
As we all know, this time of year, snow and ice make traveling and walking difficult. In an effort to be prepared for future snow and freezing rain, and to remind area residents about proper snow and ice removal etiquette and code, the City of Wenatchee has put together some basic guidelines. First, property owners are responsible for removing snow and ice from sidewalks and walking areas within 24 hours of a snowstorm. Pile all snow from parking areas and sidewalks into planter strips or onto yards. Next, if sidewalks become slippery with ice, spread sand or de-icer to make it safer for pedestrians. Also, shovel, blade, or blow snow in a location other than the street, such as the front yard, planter strips, or along the curb. Violation of the Wenatchee City Code, Chapter 7.24, constitutes a Class 4 civil infraction with a fine of $52. You're watching NCW Life News. Coming up next, your sports update, followed by today's feature story. That and much more still to come on NCW Life News. Stay with us.
My name is Robert Duff. Current and previous occupation is architect, engineer, and lawyer. Grew up here in Washington, born in Moses Lake. When I first came to CVCH, was looking for a place to get some dental work done. I was really impressed with the people at the counter. I mean, they were just on top of it. It only took her like 15 minutes to do the job. I didn't feel anything. The technology is so great, you don't even realize you're at the dentist. These people are so professional. I would have any one of these people in my home for dinner. These people are family.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Tuesday. For the fifth time since 2009, Alabama is the college football national champion after a thrilling 26-23 overtime win over Georgia last night in Atlanta. Trailing 13-0 at halftime, Alabama coach Nick Saban decided to pull starting quarterback Jalen Hurts and put in true freshman Tua Tagovailoa. He threw 3 touchdown passes, including a 41-yarder to an overtime to Devontae Smith for the game winner. The Crimson Tide had a chance to win it at the end of regulation, but kicker Andy Papanastos missed from 37 yards out. Georgia scored first in the overtime on a 51-yard field goal by Rodrigo Blankenship. Then it was the freshman. He took a bad sack in Alabama's first play in overtime, losing 16 yards back to the 41, but on the next play, he looked right, came back left, hitting Smith for the touchdown and national championship. Saban has now won 6 major poll championships, including one at LSU, matching the record of Bear Bryant. So on the prep schedule for today, earlier it was bowling at Eastmont Lanes, where Wenatchee hosted Davis and Eastmont took on Eisenhower. We'll have the results tomorrow morning right here on the NCW Life channel on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Big night wrestling. Wenatchee on the road at Sunnyside today. Eastmont's at West Valley, both at 7 o'clock. At girls basketball tonight, Cascade is at Cashmere at 5:45. It's a 6 o'clock tip time for Entiat traveling to Pateros. Also 6 start time for Waterville Mansfield at Brewster, and Manson hosting Tonasket. On the boys side, it's a Wenatchee hosting Lewiston, Idaho at 5:45 this afternoon. Cashmere playing host to Cascade at 7:15. Entiat boys are in Pateros at 7:30. Waterville Mansfield at Brewster, and Tonasket and Manson also 7:30 tip times. Well, the season may be prematurely ended for the Seattle Seahawks, missing the playoffs for the first time since 2011, but the end-of-year awards are being handed out by the team. The team votes for its own MVP, so here you go. Offensive MVP Russell Wilson with 34 touchdown passes, leading the NFL. Also the team's rushing leader with 586 yards. Defensive MVP, no surprise there, Bobby Wagner, 133 tackles, 97 solo at 13 tackles for a loss, couple of interceptions, a sack and a half, and a fumble return for a touchdown. Special teams MVP went to Nico Thorpe. The comeback player of the year, Earl Thomas, coming back from that broken leg with 88 tackles, 1 forced fumble, a couple of interceptions, and 1 return for a touchdown. The most improved player, Paul Richardson, 703 yards on 44 catches and 6 touchdowns. The rookie of the year, Shaq Griffin. He had 59 tackles, 15 passes defended, an interception, and a sack. Well, now that the Washington State defensive coordinator Alex Grinch is left to become the co-defensive coordinator for Urban Meyer's staff at Ohio State, Cougars were needing a replacement, and apparently they have found one. Former Minnesota head coach Tracy Claeys has been hired as WSU's new defensive coordinator. Claeys led the Golden Gophers to a 9-4 record in his only full season as head coach in 2016, but was fired shortly after the season ended in the wake of a standoff between the football program and the school's administration. Minnesota players threatened to boycott the team's game against Washington State in the Holiday Bowl after 10 players were suspended for their connection with an alleged sexual assault. The Gophers beat the Cougars in that game 17-12. Afterwards, Claeys lamented taking to Twitter to support his players' threat to boycott, which eventually cost him his job. Meanwhile, the Washington Huskies could end up with a quarterback who was on the sidelines for last night's national championship. Former Lake Stevens star Jason Eason, who was heavily recruited to play at Washington while in high school, is expected to transfer from Georgia to the UW. He's the 2015 Gatorade National Player of the Year. That's sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom on the NCW Life Channel. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. On Monday in Seattle, re-elected Seattle City Council member Lorena Gonzalez and newly elected council member Teresa Mosqueda invited Wenatchee High School's Mariachi Wenatchee to perform at their inauguration ceremony. In our features story tonight, here's a look at their performance yesterday at Seattle City Hall. We'll be back in just a moment with the recap of some of today's stories and your complete local weather forecast right after this.
Travel enhances your life in every way. Let the travel professionals at Journey Travel and Tours help you plan that dream vacation. Don't leave the important details to those nameless, faceless online agencies. At Journey Travel and Tours, our goal is to build relationships that last a lifetime. And when you do need help, we have a 24-hour helpline that is routed to one of the agents in our office. When you think travel, think Journey Travel and Tours. It's where your journey begins. Like us on Facebook, and you could be one of our monthly winners.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
This is the big one. Leonard Evans year-end celebration. celebration. 2017 was such a great year for us here at Leonard Evans, we want to say thank you. So we're offering you our best deals of the year. No, really, these are our best deals ever. Pick out any super clean pre-owned vehicle in stock and drive home with $0 down. And we mean zero. At the Leonard Evans Used Car Superstore. Corner of Maple Street and North Wenatchee Avenue in Wenatchee, Leonard Evans, where the name means a great deal.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Time to replace your home comfort system? This Lennox dealer can help.
If it's time to replace your old furnace or air conditioner, Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling gives free estimates. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Time now to take a look at your weather forecast for north central Washington. And before we do that, let's take another peek outside our weather window where we are seeing low clouds beginning to move into our area. This will look from the Wenatchee Heights area. We did have a lot of fog this morning, and after a foggy start to our Tuesday, we did see peaks at the sun today with high temperatures mainly in the mid to upper 30s, and expect that to continue. Well, kind of a quiet day tomorrow. The region will see a brief dry respite in the weather during the day on Wednesday before a much stronger system arrives by Wednesday night. We have about a 30% chance of late day showers tomorrow, which goes up to an 80% chance of a rain-snow mix by tomorrow night. So tomorrow, kind of an in-between day, not a bad day throughout the day, but by Thursday, this system will potentially produce heavy mountain snow and valley accumulations of both snow and rain across the northern third of Washington and the northern half of the Idaho Panhandle. We have a 100% chance of snow early on Thursday, changing over to rain by afternoon. We could see up to 2 inches of snow on the ground into Thursday afternoon, and then we could see up to 2/10 of an inch of rain by Thursday night. As I mentioned, 1 to 2 inches of accumulation. That's expected for most of the northern valleys, including the Wenatchee Valley. Gusty winds are also expected in some Columbia Basin locations behind this system. Cooler and drier weather will then arrive for the weekend and will persist through early Monday with highs in the mid-30s. Let's take a look at your forecasts now. And tonight we will see a low of about 30 degrees. For Wednesday, maybe a shower late in the day, as I mentioned, an 80% chance then for a rain-snow mix on Wednesday night, but a nice high temperature of 41 expected tomorrow. Thursday, that will be our wet day, a 100% chance of mixed precipitation. 39 our high Thursday, 33 the low temperature. Look at that beautiful day on Friday with partly to cloudy to mostly cloudy skies. 44 our high, 29 our low temperature. And then, as I mentioned, cooler and drier weather come just in time for the weekend. We'll see highs on Saturday and Sunday of 35, lows in the upper 20s. Lots of sun on Sunday, so get out there and enjoy it if you can, because more rain and snow in the forecast for late in the day on Monday with a high then of around 34 degrees. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around north central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. Also, make sure you tune in to the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. And I will be in once again for Steve Hare with the news. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
This has been NCW Life News on the NCW Life channel. For more news, log on to ncwlife.com, like us on Facebook, and follow NCW Life channel on Twitter.
Hi, I'm Blair from Works, your workout prescription. Have you ever started an exercise program and struggled to keep it going? So what if I told you that with this MyZone device, I could increase your chances of self-motivated exercise adherence by over 200%. Combine that with an exercise prescription specifically for your level of readiness, we'll increase it even more. And that's our new member success system. It's $99. It's exclusively at Works. It includes your MyZone belt. Works. YourWorkoutRx.com.
Thursday night, hockey night on the NCW Life channel. It all begins at 7 o'clock with a call of the Wild and Clarkie's Corner. Then it's non-stop hockey action with a voice of the Wild, Arch Ecker. Join us as the Wild battle the rest of the BCHL. Thursday night is hockey night on the NCW Life channel.
Get the fastest internet available in North Central Washington by switching to LocalTel and get speeds up to 1,000 meg. Call 888-8888 today or go online to localtel.net.